Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I hope all of you are hale and hearty. So today we will study the sonnet Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day by William Shakespeare. So let's get started. As far as the introduction of the poet William Shakespeare is concerned, you people have already studied that song, Blow, Blow, Thou Winter Wind, which has been taken from the play As You Like It, written by William Shakespeare. So, when you studied that, I have already given the introduction of the poet or introduction of William Shakespeare to you. So, I will simply read out these lines because I have already explained them. So, 1564 to 1616. William Shakespeare was born in 1564 and died in 1616. He was born in Stratford-upon-Avon, United Kingdom. He was an English poet, playwright, and actor of the Renaissance era. He wrote 154 sonnets and 37 plays. No writer has excelled in so many kinds of drama, history, romance, comedy, and tragedy. So you should remember these key points about William Shakespeare. Now this sonnet, Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day, very famous sonnet. And as far as the division of the sonnet is concerned, when I was teaching you that sonnet on his blindness by John Milton, over there I have explained the difference between Miltonic sonnet and Shakespearean sonnet. So within Miltonic sonnet, the division is like 8 plus 6, octave and then sestet, 8 lines and then 6 lines. But as far as Shakespearean sonnet is concerned, which we will study today, it's a different one. The division is like there are 3 quatrains, 4 lines, 4 lines, 4 lines, okay, and then 1 couplet, last 2 lines. So this is the division. You should not forget it. Okay. Now let's discuss the central idea of this sonnet. The central idea or the theme of this sonnet is that beauty is temporary, mortal, but it becomes immortal if it is given immortality. If the reputation of that thing grows as time passes, it will last forever. So in simple words, nothing is permanent in this world, and specifically beauty is temporary. So there is only one way to immortalize somebody, to give this quality of eternity to someone, everlasting personality. And what is that thing? That you should write few lines about that person. You see, you study different historical figures and eminent personalities, and what happens? You get to know about them with the help of words, books, and lines. So this is the only way to give this quality of immortality to any person, human being. Write about that person and he will be remembered forever. Just like you are studying this sonnet of William Shakespeare. He is no more. He is dead. But still you know him. Why? Because he has left his poetry and dramas behind him. Okay? So with the help of lines, works, books, sentences, you can give this quality of immortality to someone. So just like that, here in this sonnet, the poet says that he wants to immortalize the beauty of his beloved. Beloved will not be there. Beloved will be dead. But beauty will be remembered. How? Because people will read about the beauty of his beloved in his sonnets and in his poems. So Shakespeare has written poems and sonnets for his beloved, and though beloved will be dead, but beloved's beauty will be remembered by the readers, by people who will read poetry of Shakespeare. Okay, so this is how Shakespeare wants to give this quality of immortality to his beloved. So this is the central idea or theme. Okay, Let's proceed. Now, some additional information about this sonnet. The theme of Shakespeare's sonnet is that his lover is more beautiful and desirable than a summer's day. So, you see the title of the sonnet, the first line, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? This is a kind of rhetorical question. And what is rhetorical question? I have already told you. When you ask a question, but the purpose is not to seek an answer. Purpose is simply to emphasize and highlight that fact. For example, politicians in their speeches, they use different rhetorical questions. They ask, why I went into politics? For how long we are going to tolerate this? So the purpose is not to seek an answer. The purpose is to simply throw light on the fact, to highlight that key point, to emphasize the point. So such questions are called rhetorical questions. So here the poet, he asks this rhetorical question. He says that whether he should compare his beloved's beauty to a summer's day. Here you have to remember one thing, girls, that summer, as far as European countries are concerned, it is considered as a very pleasant weather over there. Just like in Pakistan, we have this March, April, spring season. Okay, so summer is considered as a good season over there. So that's why he has written that, shall I compare thee to a summer's day, that pleasant day? Okay, so you should remember this. Just like we have in Pakistan, the spring season is very pleasant, March, April, fine. So that's why in European countries, summer is considered as a pleasant one. Okay, so the theme of Shakespeare's sonnet is that his lover is more beautiful and desirable than a summer's day. So first he says that whether he should compare his beloved's beauty to a summer day, but then he says even his beloved is more beautiful than a summer day, more pleasant than a summer's day. He concludes by saying that he wishes to immortalize forever the beauty of his lover in his poetry. So he says that he wants to immortalize the beauty of his lover and his beloved. Okay? So this was the central idea or theme, or you can say crux of this sonnet. This is a sonnet, 14 lines poem. ठीक है? A poem of 14 lines is called sonnet. 14 line poem is called sonnet. Okay. Now words and meanings. Temperate. Temperate means delicate. Okay. The eye of heaven. This is a metaphor. Metaphor when one thing is directly called as another. For example, I say she is a moon. So I'm directly calling her a moon. So here the eye of heaven, it stands for sun. So the poet has directly called sun as the eye of heaven. Okay? Eternal. Eternal means immortal, perpetual, everlasting. And next word is brag, to boast. Boasting means when you talk about something with excessive pride and arrogance. Okay? That is boasting. So these were the words and meanings. And now I will proceed towards the sonnet. Kindly open your books in front of you. It's page number 36. So, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. So he says that whether he should compare his beloved's beauty to the beauty of a summer day. Then he says, thou art more lovely and more temperate. Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Then he says to his beloved that I should or I will compare you, your beauty with the beauty of a summer's day. But you are more lovely, more charming, more attractive, and more delicate even than the summer's day. So, in the first line, he says that should he compare his beloved's beauty with the beauty of a summer's day? And then in the second line, he says, no, he should not. Why? Because his beloved is more charming, more desirable, and more attractive, more pleasant even than the summer's day. So thou art more lovely and more temperate. He says to his beloved, you are more beautiful, you are more lovely and more delicate. Temperate, delicate, balanced, harmonized. Okay. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May. May, month, April, May, June, July. Okay, so May is the name of month. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May. He says that these rough winds of summer, they shake the flourishing or blooming buds of beautiful May flowers, flowers which bloom in the month of May. So he says that he should not compare his beloved's beauty to a summer's day. Why? Because in summers, it does happen that the wind or rough wind, it shakes the cherished buds of beautiful May flowers. So rough winds are there in summers. And summer's lease hath all too short a date. Lease, duration. Now, what is the meaning of, or what is the interpretation of this expression, summer's lease? It means that the duration of summer, or the part of the year which is occupied by summer season, even it is very short. The duration is very short. So he somehow drops this idea that he should not compare his beloved's beauty with the summer. Why? First, because there are rough winds, and now even the duration of summer is very short. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines. The eye of heaven, sun. So again he says that he should not compare his beloved's beauty with the beauty of a summer's day, because first he said that rough winds, they are there and they shake the blooming buds of flowers which usually bloom in the month of May. And then he says, what is the second reason that he should not compare? Second reason is that in summers, sun shines too hot. Too hot the eye of heaven shines. Okay? And every fair from fair sometimes declines. Beauty goes away. Even the most beautiful thing, it loses its beauty and charm with the passage of time. Beauty declines, it fades away. By chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. Untrimmed, unchanged. So why beauty goes away? Because it is the rule and law of nature. By chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. So why even fair from fair sometimes declines? Because this is the rule, this is the law, this is the natural course of nature, that things, they lose their charm and beauty with the passage of time. Just like man. In youth, man is very energetic, enthusiastic, passionate about everything. And what happens with the passage of time? That energy, that charm, that beauty, that activeness, it is perished. It is finished. Okay? It declines. Okay, girls, before proceeding, I will read out and I will explain that line which somehow I left, and I'm sorry about that. This line, sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines. So, sun shines in summers, and sometimes too hot it shines. And often is his gold complexion dimmed. His gold complexion, complexion of sun rays, they are golden. Okay? Okay. So, the poet is of the view that he should not compare his beloved's beauty with the beauty of a summer day. Why? Because, number one, in summers, what happens? Rough winds, they shake the cherished buds of Mayflowers. Number two, sun shines too hot in summers. And as far as those golden rays and gold complexion of sun is concerned, it is also dimmed. Why? Because of the presence of clouds. Okay, because clouds, they come in front of the sun, or you can say, um, as far as sun is concerned, sun is somehow hidden behind this veil of clouds, so his rays and golden complexion is dimmed. Okay, and every fair from fair sometimes declines by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed, and beauty goes away. Even the most beautiful thing, it loses its charm with the passage of time. And what is the reason behind it? It is nature's rule and law and natural course, that things, they lose charm with the passage of time. Everything, it proceeds towards decline, fall. Okay? Now, next. But the eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. Eternal summer, everlasting beauty of summer, shall not fade away, nor lose possession. Possession, ownership, when you possess, when you own something. Nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. Thou owest, which you own. He is addressing his beloved. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade. Brag, boast, boasting. When in eternal lines to time thou growest, so long as man can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. So, what he says in these lines? But the eternal summer shall not fade. He addresses his beloved and he says that your beauty will not fade, just like the beauty of other things of this world. Nor lose possession of that fair thou wast. And you will not lose this ownership of beauty. You own this beauty. You are the owner of beauty. So, it should be with you forever. Just like this summer day, which is pleasant, of course it will lose charm. It will fade. But beloved's beauty, he addresses his beloved and he says, your beauty, it will not fade. And you should always own this beauty. This is your quality. You own this beauty and you are the owner of this beauty. So you should own it forever. This possession and this ownership should be eternal, everlasting, immortal. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade. Death should not be proud that he will take away beauty from you. Death should not be boasting, talking with excessive pride and arrogance that death will take away your beauty and charm from you. When in eternal lines to time thou growest. Why? Now he gives the reason. Why his beloved's beauty will be alive forever? Why death should not be proud to take away his beloved's beauty? Because when in eternal lines to time thou growest, because after death, beloved's reputation will grow more and more. How? So long as men can breathe, as long as this world is there, as long as men can breathe on this world, or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. So, as long as men on this earth they breathe, as long as the eyes they can see, as long as this world is alive, there, his beloved will be remembered. Why? Because he has written about his beloved's beauty in his poems, in his sonnets, in these lines. So, world, it will always remember his beloved's beauty. So, not even death should be proud that it will take away his beloved's beauty, because death cannot do that. Even beloved dies. After death of beloved, the reputation of beloved will grow more. And beloved is alive in these lines. And with the help of these lines, readers, when they will read out the poetry, sonnet, and these lines of Shakespeare, the readers will remember his beloved, just like you are studying right now. And it manifests, it depicts, it suggests that his beloved is alive, because you are still studying about his beauty, isn't it? Though you are students of first year, but you are still studying about Shakespeare's beloved's beauty. So, this is how beloved is alive. Beauty is alive, though beloved is dead. But beauty is there. Why? Because we are studying about that beauty and beloved in this poem, in these lines, in these sonnets. So, somehow, he wanted to immortalize the beauty of his beloved, and which he did. His beloved's beauty is immortal. It will not fade as long as the readers or the students will read poetry of Shakespeare. Okay, so this was the sonnet. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Dear girls, I would like to discuss something with you. In your books on page number 37, uh, there are 3 paragraphs. So, in the first paragraph, the rhyme pattern of this sonnet is discussed. You should see it. Then, in the next paragraph, it is discussed that some of Shakespeare's sonnets are addressed to an unknown dark lady. Okay, identity is unknown, but they are addressed to a young woman or a young lady, dark lady. She is usually referred to as dark lady, and whom Shakespeare loved. And but most of his sonnets are addressed to a young nobleman of great beauty. I mean, he was male, so his name is also given. Okay, you can read out this paragraph. So you should remember that identity is unknown. Whether woman, that dark lady, or that young nobleman, identity is not certain. Identity is unknown. There is always this mystery about it, that to whom Shakespeare dedicated his sonnets, poems, or poetry. All right. And in the next paragraph, it's about this sonnet, that how is it written, that this is a wonderful sonnet, and for it's very striking, it's beautiful, choice of words is very good. Okay, so I thought that I should discuss it with you. So you should have this thing in your mind. All right, thank you. Allah Hafiz.